This is Brian for Liberty, and I'm here on a quick rant. We're just going to talk about the labor theory of value and how stupid the whole thing is. It's amazing to me. So this morning I set up to have my pool closed. I called the pool guy that I use and set him up. It is 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. He picks up the phone and takes my information down, and he's like, I will give you a call on Sunday and I'll let you know when I'm going to stop by. So this guy answered the phone at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and then he is going to call me on a Sunday and let me know what time this week he'll be able to come by and close up my pool. Now, what blows my mind about this is I have a pretty good job and I do all right. I have zero desire to wake up and take phone calls from potential clients on a Saturday morning, make phone calls on a Sunday, and then work all week. I have no desire to do that whatsoever. And so what drives me nuts is there's all these people out there who think that their labor is worth so much, and I show up to work and I have to exchange my time for wages and I have to work in order to survive. And the whole thing is so stupid. Like first, end users of an infrastructural system that's been built for you to work, right? And so when I say an end user, I'm talking about a cashier. I'm talking about an Amazon delivery driver or somebody in the warehouse. I'm talking about that kind of the end user, right? Are going to sit here and they're going to make this argument of how much value they add to the products that they're selling because they're delivering the product or they're ringing the product up at a cash register or something along those lines, right? And they're going to sit and complain that they're not getting the full value of the labor that they're putting in. What they don't recognize is that they're not adding any value, almost zero extra value. They are an expense. It's kind of like an electric bill, right? You don't look at the electric bill or the lights and go, the lights in this store make the products more valuable, because without the light in the store, we wouldn't be able to sell the product. It's a necessary expense of doing business. You absolutely have to have it, just like you absolutely have to have a cashier, but it's not adding value to the product that's being sold. All the value in the product is created way before it gets to the hands of the cashier or to the stock person or even the person who puts it in a box to get it shipped. The entire infrastructure, right? The entire infrastructure that's been built for you to exchange a minimal amount of your time in order to purchase all the things you need to survive and function in society, okay? All that value in that product was created way before it ever got to you. It got created by the people who put together the contracts to obtain the raw materials to create the project or the product. It got created by the engineers who designed the product. It got created by the people who actually created and manufacture the product. And even at that level, you're starting to get less and less actual value creation, right? It's created by the marketing department that actually created a desire amongst the buying population to show up and buy the product. Then you have somebody whose job it is to put a scanner gun at it and hand it to somebody or stick it in a box and tape it up. You're not adding any value to the product. One of the arguments that I get into is that we talk about taxation being theft, and people will say, well, taxation is the price you pay to live in a civilized society. It pays for all the things we need. It pays for police, pays for roads, pays for schools, Doesn't make taxation still theft, but here's the interesting thing: the taxation is theft argument. Taxation is theft, right? Because it's taken from me involuntarily. It is by force taken from me against my will. So it's theft. Now you could say it's necessary. You can make the argument that it's a necessary evil, but it is theft. By pure definition, it's theft. But you could say it's a necessary evil. Profit is business's form of taxation, and that is a voluntary tax. That's a voluntary expense you pay by not establishing your own enterprise. So the fact that you show up to work and there's lights and there's heat and there's a cash register and there's a scanner, that the building is insured, that the customers are actually walking through the door, that entire infrastructure, that whole thing has already been built and created for you. Profit is the tax, if you want to put it that way, that pays for all of that to exist. So I'm so sick and tired. It's just kind of a a rant that I'm on right now. It's just like I said, I called a business owner this morning to close up my pool. He's answering his phone at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. He's going to make a call to me on a Sunday to let me know what day of the week. He's working 7 days a week to run his enterprise, right? So if he hires somebody and says, I don't want to answer my phone on Saturday mornings anymore, you're going to answer my phone. And I'm going to pay you $10 an hour to answer the phones on the weekends for me and set appointments. That person's not creating any value. The business, the infrastructure, everything already, all he's doing is answering a phone. He doesn't make the service that this person is providing any more valuable. This person has decided that they are now successful enough that they can leverage some other labor to increase their own leisure time. And yeah, they're entitled to all the profit. That's how that works. It's mind-boggling to me, the level of entitlement of you. This whole thing is created for me. All I have to do is show up and exchange labor, which, by the way, would have no value without the infrastructure that's created. I feel like I am entitled to essentially partial ownership. And the one last thing here, and this is just a little tidbit here. If you work for Amazon or virtually any major corporation, you can own a portion of that corporation. You could share in the profits. It's called buying stock in the company. The majority of large corporations are publicly traded. Feel free to take a tiny portion of your paycheck and invest it in your company stock. And if it's a dividend paying stock, then you're literally going to take a share of the profits. As the stock price increases, you're going to get to share in that company growth. You have the option to do that thing. But no. What you're going to do is whine and cry and throw a temper tantrum, demanding that you're giving the full value of your labor. And the whole stupid argument is ridiculous. So this is just a quick rant I wanted to record for the channel. It's going on the YouTube channel, Brian for Liberty. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by.